Now, if you are planning a holiday to France this summer, you'll need to make sure you've got space in your suitcase for an extra item.
Or at least your glove compartment, because a new law is making it compulsory from today for anyone driving there to have a breathalyser. In fact, I think it's 2 breathalysers you need in your car. Jeanette Miller is president of the Association of Motor Offence Lawyers, and she joins us now on the sofa. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we've already got to have a warning triangle. You've got a high-vis jacket for every member of your party in the car, and now 2 breathalysers.
Correct. The Norme Française, it's called. It's a little handheld device, and the legislation is that you must carry 2 of them. You don't have to use them, you have to have them in your car at all times, and if you're stopped by the police, as from today, then you're breaking the law, but they're going to wait until November to start fining people. The fine, however, is not much of a deterrent. It's €11, so the logic behind it is a little bit
11,
different.
so we're talking, what, 7 quid?
Yeah,
8 quid, something
£8,
like that.
yeah.
The logic does define me because if you have the breathalysers in the car, when I first heard about this, I thought, OK, so the idea is they're in the car, you could use them if you think you may be over the limit, and then you have no excuse for driving over the limit. But they're not even going to ask you to use them, are they?
Well, it's just to carry them at the moment. That's what the legislation states. It's part of, I think, Sarkozy's pledge to address what seems to be a bit of an epidemic of drink driving in France. In 2011, the road safety figure is pretty horrific. 4,000 road deaths, and 1/3 were thought to have been alcohol related. So this and various other measures that are being talked about at the moment are in response to outrage about those stats.
So Sarkozy obviously brought this in when he was in power. Francois Hollande has let it carry on through.
But that's interesting that you have to have them. Do they have to be brand new ones, unopened ones, or can you have used them and have them discarded?
I'm not entirely sure. They have to be a certain brand. So we were talking earlier, but it's actually a red and white device. It's not black. But they're available from ferry ports, from the tunnel ports. And when I was doing my research, I discovered bars and clubs in France are carrying them. They should be around £2 or £3, but apparently if you do get the ferry, they're charging around £5 for them.
Because it's quite interesting, just the alcohol levels that are allowed across Europe, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it varies. I mean, in this country there is one level.
Yes.
I'm not sure about France, but I know in Germany it can vary.
Yeah, we actually have one of the highest drink drive limits in Europe. Most European countries have a limit of 50. We're at 80 milligrams.
So that's something to be mindful about when we're on holiday.
And then Germany, you just mentioned, they do have a few staged levels. So if you're a new driver, having just passed your test in the last 2 years, or you're under 21, 0 tolerance, no alcohol whatsoever in your system is allowed. If you're a professional driver, so you're driving a coach load of people, and this makes sense to me, 0 tolerance, again, no alcohol in your system allowed. But there are differing laws all across Europe, so it is confusing, and if you're travelling there, you need to be very careful not to fall foul of the law.
It's not just the drink driving, is it? I mean, there are also rules in different countries referring to things like your GPS, your sat-nav device.
Again, in France, this year, they've introduced a new law that if you do have a sat-nav device on you, you must disengage the function that detects radar equipment. So if you're looking out for speed cameras, you can't do that in France, and if you are caught doing that, they can confiscate your sat-nav and they can fine you up to €1,500.
You know, we're talking about this, but it could all just be very easy. Don't drink and drive, stick within the speed limits and be really safe.
Well, in an ideal world.
In an ideal world.
Jeanette, be out of a job then.
Yeah. Jeanette, thank you so much.
Thank you very much
It's
indeed.
a pleasure.